Have you ever wondered how you can find your perfect prospect on social media, but not only that, but turn them into a raving fan that loves what you do, wants to connect with you, and basically wants to buy your product? Well, my name is Karin Angeli from KarinAngeli.com, and I am so excited that you're here. If you're coming in live, let me know. Let me know where you're coming in from. Let's connect. And if you're coming in on the replay, do me a favor, drop me a replay. Let me know where you're coming in from as well, because I would love to connect with you and I would love to chat. All right, unicorns, let's talk about this really important thing of creating those perfect prospects on social media that are just completely obsessed with us. Okay. Like that's ultimately what we want to do. If we want to build a business online, we've got to figure out how we can make it so that people know, like, trust us, are obsessed with what we have to say, and ultimately want to buy our products, buy our services, join our team. That's ultimately what we're looking to do, right? So let's talk about, I actually created 3 steps that I felt were super important for you to be able to grab a hold of and actually do in order to create that raving fan base that you're looking for, okay? So if you're coming in and you're saying to yourself, I want to know how to do this, but I don't have time to watch this right now, go ahead, tap that save button, or go ahead and share this so then you can kind of see this later, okay? So because I want you to be able to get all the nitty-gritty details, okay? So first things first, when we are looking to create that raving fan base of people that just love us, that want to buy our products, that want to join our team, that want to do whatever it is that we're doing, the first thing we need to do is ask ourselves, who is that person that that we want to connect with, okay? This is truly the most important question you can ask yourself. And this is something that I ask myself on a regular basis, okay? Because I want to make sure that I've nailed in perfectly who it is that I'm talking to, okay? So I look at this constantly. About once a month, I'll look at this and say, okay, am I talking to the person that I actually want to connect with? Okay. And I highly recommend that you do this as well in your business, because if you are actually talking to the right person on social media, you're going to have less struggle in actually building your business, which is ultimately what we want, right? Like, we don't want to have to talk to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, because the problem with doing that is it's exhausting. And at the end of the day, you get a ton of rejection, right? Like, have you been there before, gotten a ton of rejection and been like, dang, this is just not as effective as my upline told me? If you've been there before, drop me a 1 in the comments. I want to know that I'm not the only one that's been there, because I totally get it. I remember the days where my upline told me that every person was my prospect. Everybody wants this product, so go out there and make it happen. And I did. I went out there and I talked to a lot of people, okay? And what ended up happening is, yes, I built a business, but along the way, there was a ton of rejection, okay? I had a ton of people that were just kind of like, thanks, but no thanks. And I know that that's part of the network marketing industry. Not everybody wants our product, but here's the thing. If we are actually marketing to people that have already raised their hands and told us that they want a specific problem, or they have a problem and that we have a solution for, and they're looking for that solution, then we have less no's along the way. And the cool thing about using the internet, using the online space to build our business, is that there are people that have already raised their hands and said that they want the solution to the problems that they have, okay? You can find them in all sorts of different places, and I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that as we go. But the first things first, we wanna talk about who it is that we're looking to connect with, okay? What gender are they? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have children? What do they do for a living? What are some of the hobbies that they love to do? These are only some of the questions that you can ask yourself, okay? The more detailed you get, the more likely it is that you're actually going to start attracting that person. The more likely that that person is actually going to say, yes, I want what you have to offer. Okay. So get as detailed as you possibly can. What do they do when they first wake up in the morning until they go to bed at night? Do they work 5 days a week? Are they a stay-at-home mom? Do they only work weekends? What is it that they do? What is it that they love doing in life? Okay. Do they love scrapbooking? Do they love going to parties? What are the things that they just thrive at? Okay. Because like I said, the more detailed you get, the easier it is to actually find those people. Okay. So once you've asked yourself those questions of who is it that I'm actually trying to connect with, now we can get even deeper. Okay. And that's where the online space is really cool. Okay. Because now that we've gotten super specific on the person that we want to connect with, now we can actually ask ourselves, where does that person hang out? Okay. So for example, if you are looking, maybe you have a health and wellness product, maybe you have a skincare product, whatever, it doesn't matter. What you want to do is you want to start in that place and ask yourself, where would somebody that's looking for good solutions for their skin, where would they hang out? Okay. There's a lot of ways that you can research this, but I highly recommend that you do the research and you actually figure out where they hang out, because the better you are at your research of who they are and then where they hang out, the better it is that you're actually going to find the person that you're looking for that's already raising their hand and asking for the thing or asking for the solution to the problem that maybe your product, service, or business can solve for them. Okay. So let's get as detailed as we possibly can. So where can you find that person? Start brainstorming. Are there forums that maybe your perfect person hangs out in constantly? Okay. I know for me, my husband, he is a gamer. Okay. He is constantly in different forums for gamers. Okay. He's in these different Facebook groups. He's in different game forums online. And he knows that he is able to go to those specific forums to get questions answered, to connect with like-minded people, to network with other people that have the same interests as him. Okay. This is exactly what I want you to do. I want you to ask yourself, what groups can answer the question that my prospect has, can actually fill that need, that desire that my prospect has. And what I recommend is that once you've done your research and you've found those places, start connecting with people in those groups. Okay. What I mean by that is make sure that you're visible. Okay. Make sure that people see your name and recognize your name, because maybe you're answering questions. Maybe you're engaging with other people. Maybe you're asking questions of other people within that group. And what you're doing is you're starting to create a network of people that are beginning to know, like, and trust you. Okay. This is the place where it starts. Okay. But it doesn't end there. Okay. So we're connecting with those people and we're making sure that those connections are genuine. Okay. The thing that makes my skin crawl is when I see people go into groups like that and they start friend requesting people right away without making those connections. Don't do that. Okay. Start making the connections with other people in the group. Answer those questions and have people go, oh, that was a really great response. I'd love to connect with them more. And then if you can take the conversation into maybe Messenger or somewhere where you can deepen a relationship with them, great. Okay. So what that means is maybe you start friend requesting some people. Okay. But like I said, make sure that it's a genuine friend request. Okay. We are not just going in and friend requesting everybody. Like I said, that gives me a little bit of the chills because I see people do that a lot of times. And while that can work, what happens is sometimes you get the group leader, the person that created the group, a little upset with you. Okay. Sometimes people within the group get upset, and then sometimes the people that created the group get upset. because they feel as though you are taking advantage of them, okay? We don't want that. We want to actually make those genuine connections with people. That's what social media is all about. People go to social media to be social, okay? So get rid of the commission breath, okay? Have you heard that before, that commission breath? I mean, that's something that I feel like a lot of network marketers struggle with, is that commission breath. So ask yourself, how can I actually connect with people in a genuine way? Okay. So connect with them, be normal, just like you would connect with somebody if you were on the street. Connect with somebody as if you were on the street talking to them. Okay. Don't be a weirdo. Okay. So connect with people as much as you possibly and genuinely can in those groups, in those pages. Where do they hang out on Facebook? Where do they hang out on Instagram? Who do they follow? What pages do they like? These are places that you can actually find your perfect prospect. Okay. Now, once you've found those places where people hang out, now it's time to really dig in. Okay. Because once you've connected with them in a real, genuine way, now you can start asking questions of them. Okay. So an example of this is maybe you start, if you're in a Facebook group, maybe you start asking specific niche questions of your perfect prospects. Okay. So say you're in a group on Facebook for people that have skincare needs. Okay. Maybe ask them questions like, what do you love most about taking care of your skin? How does it make you feel when you're actually taking care of your skin? What frustrates you the most about your skin? And what I highly recommend is once you start asking those questions, I highly recommend that you actually connect with people that are responding to those questions, okay? Connect with them in a deeper way, okay? Respond back and forth with them and see if you can actually have a genuine conversation with them. Now, what I really recommend is if you can connect them with them in such a way that you're able to maybe jump on a call with them and say, hey, like, I would love to connect with you. That's the cool thing about network marketing and the cool thing about networking in groups like this is that you actually can find people that have that interest, and then you can actually dig a little bit deeper with them. Okay, so jump on a phone call with them and ask them more questions. Ask them more questions about what ticks for them. What I highly recommend and what a mentor recommended to me whenever I first started doing this is that you get on a phone call with them and ask them 5 pointed questions, okay? Ask them what they love, ask them what they don't love, what frustrates them. Maybe what would they do if they had an extra $1,000 in their bank account? What would they do? Okay. These questions are going to help you really pinpoint who that perfect prospect is and how they think. Okay. Because how they think is actually what we are trying to target. Okay. How they think is actually going to start attracting more and more people that think the exact same way. Okay. So if you start seeing trends in answers to some of the questions that you ask, it's most likely that's cluing you into something, okay? Your prospect is telling you what their hopes, their dreams, their desires, their pain points, what all of those things are. And when you're asking those questions and you're documenting what people are saying, you are now able to take your marketing to the next level. And now that you've found your perfect prospect, you know where they hang out, you know what they love, you know what they don't love, you can now start actually connecting with them even deeper. And what happens is you start creating posts on social media, stories on social media. You talk to people in a certain way where they feel a genuine connection with you. And they start getting attracted to what you have to say. Okay? No, this is true because this is how it's worked for me in my business. Where people actually, I don't even know where they came from, but they reach out to me and they ask me questions. They ask me, how can I build my business better? How can I, whatever, okay? But that's exactly what happens when you actually figure out what in your niche makes people tick, okay? What is it that makes people tick about skincare or health and wellness or whatever it may be, okay? When you ask those questions, you can now get a lot more pointed and actually direct more help towards that particular niche. Because here's the thing, if you can love on people within a particular niche, whether it's health and wellness, network marketing, whether it's, you name it, skincare, weight loss, doesn't matter, okay? People, if you can connect with them in that genuine way, people are gonna get more and more attractive to what you have to say, okay? So ask yourself lots of different questions of, who is my person that I'm trying to connect with? Where do they hang out? And then start asking questions of that perfect prospect, okay? Hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you some ideas as to what you can start doing to actually start attracting your perfect prospect to you, and then start creating raving fans, because that's really what we want, right? Like, we don't want to have to chase after people for the rest of our lives. I remember when I first started in network marketing, and I had gotten to this certain level in my business. I'd earned the car, I'd gone on the trips, the whole 9 yards. And I asked myself, is this how it's going to be for the rest of my life? I remember thinking that it felt a little stuck, right? Like, I felt like, is there any way to make this a little bit simpler on myself? Because I was getting to the point where I was a little bit exhausted, right? Like, I was doing the things and I was seeing the results, but I was a little tired. And I wanted a little bit more autopilot in my business. And I knew it was possible, but I didn't know how to do it. Okay. And that's where I actually discovered what I'm going to share with you right now. Okay. I have a blueprint for 5 social media hacks that you can actually start learning how to attract your perfect prospect straight to you, even deeper than what I just shared with you right now. Okay. Where you can actually start attracting people to you on autopilot. If that sounds good to you, if you are on YouTube, I left a link for you. It's the 5 social media hacks link. Go ahead and check that in the description. And if you're on Facebook, I'm going to drop that link in the comments for you so you can take a look at that once this is all said and done. But I will drop that in the comments for you if you're over on Facebook. And that's that 5 social media hacks. So go on over, check that out, and start figuring out how you can start attracting people to you on autopilot. All right. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye.